Visualizing the realism of life and actuality. Fuck who's the baddest, the personal status, the pills of salary. My mentality is money orientated. I'm destined to live a dream for all my peeps who never made it. Cause yeah, we both beginners in the hood as 5%ers, but something much.
AZ, legendary rapper, man. Nas brought him up like way back in the day, man. They made this classic song called Life's a Bitch. Like, this guy's a legend, bro.
Insight that got us, even though we know somehow we all gotta go. Long as we leave it, leaving, we'll be leaving with some.
He looks pretty young still. It's kind of crazy.
Turn the vapors, me and my capers. I'll be somewhere stacking plenty papers. Keeping the bills, still getting. Cause life's a bitch and then you die. Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of like the Tiny Desk performances a little bit. Like, they're kind of doing that style of a performance right now with like the guitarists and like the whole band. But man, this song is like a classic, man, straight up. Okay, she's gonna say no. That's crazy, man. Whenever people like propose to their like to their girlfriends in front of like huge crowds, it's kind of like you gotta think about it before trying it out. Cause like, what if she says no? It's probably better to do that with like no crowd. You know what I mean? Because anything could happen. I've seen videos like that way too often, man. That's like, it's like so embarrassing, bro. Like, if it was me, like I'm probably gonna do it in a spot where there's like not like a huge crowd of people, you know what I'm saying, just in case she says no, right? Like,
it was on this interview where Funny Marco asked him if he wants to be somebody else. This is where at first he didn't really say too much, but as they started speaking more about it, he said that he created Orlando Brown, who was famous being on this Disney show.
But you've been you for a long time. Do you like, damn, I want to be somebody else?
No, maybe though. It would be kind of crazy to put my feet in somebody else's shoes.
But do you feel like you would still be, like, create another you? Or you like, damn, I already did that?
Like, create another Trippie Redd?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I already created Orlando Brown, too.
Oh.
Yeah.
I find it interesting that he says he's playing characters in the end here, and said that's me in terms of he is Orlando Brown. Do you think he's actually being for real?
Is that something to talk about? How's that? Use Disney Channel?
I be playing characters.
Oh, they say y'all favor each other?
That's me.
Man, I'm not gonna lie, they do look a lot alike, but it's probably a joke just because it's that like what is it, awkward Marco or funny Marco or whatever. Like, it's probably just a joke, but like they do look alike though. That's kind of weird.
There's nothing that ain't none of y'all.
In 1990, a pilot got sucked out of a cockpit mid-air, with only his legs preventing him from being fully ejected. The plane's windshield had suddenly broken off, causing the cabin to become rapidly depressurized. A flight attendant managed to grab the pilot's legs and held on as the co-pilot attempted to stabilize the plane. His head was repeatedly striking the fuselage, and the crew thought he was dead. But they kept holding on so his body wouldn't fly off and damage an engine or wing. After about 20 minutes, the plane landed, and miraculously, the pilot ended up surviving.
Bro, how do you survive that? Like, what? I'm thinking the winds are so strong. As soon as the windshield breaks off, like, your body's getting like ripped apart. Cause like, what, right? Like, the plane's going so fast. Like, I don't understand that. That's actually crazy. This would be a trip. It's like you can't see what's on the other side. The smoke is so like thick, and it's like brown. It looks, yeah, okay, so it's coming from a fire. That's what I was thinking. But like, if you're driving through that, anything can be on the other side. There could be somebody trying to like jaywalk or something, like, and you couldn't see. So that's kind of a trip to drive through that. But I guess you'll have to, cause right, there's nothing you can do about it. It's gotta be bad for like the environment too. All that dark fire smoke.
This tall, shiny object was just found on a hiking trail in Las Vegas, but let's back up for a second. In late 2020, monoliths started mysteriously appearing all over the world, from Utah to Romania to downtown Las Vegas. The catch? No one saw who put them there. Naturally, the internet had a field day with theories of art installations, pranksters, and of course, aliens. Utah officials even reminded the public that using, occupying, or developing public lands without authorization is illegal, no matter what planet you're from. Over less than a month, 23 monoliths were found before the phenomenon stopped as quickly as it started. But now it might be back. The one that was just found in Las Vegas looks just like the ones from 2020, and officials say how it got there is a mystery. And this isn't the first one to pop up this year. Back in March, a hiker discovered a similar object on top of a hill in Wales that could only be reached on foot.
I think it's probably some like pranksters or like, I don't know, just some type of like group somewhere around the world just planting these things. Could be aliens too, but I don't know. I doubt it.
Granny. Granny was based of a Russian woman named Tamara Samsonova. She was a Russian serial killer who was arrested in July of 2015. She held her son captive in her house, and when he moved or made a sound, she'd beat him with a bat. But on the 5th day, she killed him. But she didn't only kill her son, she also had 11 victims along with her husband, her grandson, and even the tenant of her apartment building. She also supposedly had schizophrenia. She was also a cannibal. She butchered her victims and ate what's left. He was also caught on camera carrying the butchered parts of her victims. This was the gameplay showing her ways of doing the crime.
Bro, that's terrifying, man.
Which game should I tackle next?
Do you know why passenger planes
Bro,
don't have parachutes for passengers?
that is terrifying.
Not as easy as you think to jump from a passenger plane. First of all, without professional training, it's very difficult for anyone to jump, even if all the passengers knew how to jump. You can't open a physically locked and pressurized hatch. And airliners have really small hatches compared to skydiving planes. For skydiving, it's not just difficult, it's a real test of humanity. And secondly, the speed of airliners can reach 925 kilometers per hour, 6 times the speed of a plane dedicated to skydiving. Under the effect of huge inertia, if you jump from the front door of an airliner, you will either be swept into the engine or have several close encounters with the airliner. If you jump out the back door, it's even worse. You'd probably be split in 2 by the tail. Also, airliners fly at over 10,000 meters. It's too high for skydiving at 5,000 meters. It's too high. The air is very thin at this point. You can hardly breathe and the temperature is only minus 34.4 degrees Celsius. If you have to jump, I'll arrange for you to have a high-pressure oxygen tank and a special suit. But know this, airliners fall from 10,000 meters in 3 minutes. Can you guarantee that everyone will be fully dressed and ready to jump? And besides, more than 90% of airliner crashes occur between takeoff and landing. And the conditions for jumping are not favorable. So it seems there's no need for parachutes on airliners. Do you know what would happen if you put an ejection seat on an airliner?
That's actually crazy, man. Like, it's crazy how high the plane is when it's flying. That's crazy. But like, man, doing that skydive and stuff, it actually costs a lot of money to do that. It's like thousands of dollars just to like try it out. So it's like, right? Like, yo, I don't know how people do that every year.
The alleged hidden camera in his shoe. The suspect is a university teacher who has since been dismissed from his role.
Welcome to Brampton. We're from the dark side of the pill. We're from the dark side.
Bro, if I ever seen that on the road while driving, that would be like, I don't even know, bro. Like, that's insane. Man's just driving on the sidewalk. Like, what the? Like, that's crazy.
Doesn't really know him. They used to be total strangers.
You have my brother's face.
In March of 2012, an incredible surgery was performed on 37-year-old Richard Norris. Norris had spent the last 15 years essentially living in hiding as
Norris.
a recluse due to the fact...
Looper Norris.
And just
check out the music.
Norris had been involved in a pew-pew accident in 1997 that took away his upper and lower jaw, lips, and nose. All hope seemed to be lost for him. until the family of 21-year-old Joshua Aversano was found. Joshua had been unalived in a tragic car accident, and his family had been approached by doctors working with Richard Norris to ask if they would be willing to donate their son's face to Norris, being that both of the men's faces originally somewhat resembled each other, and the family agreed. So in 2015, the sister of Joshua came face to face finally with the man who now wears her brother's face. And she did. She reached up and kind of brushed his forehead and could only say, "Wow." Seconds later, she added, "This is the face that I grew up with."
His nose, his lips, his teeth, his jawbone, his hair, everything belonged to my brother.
How would you feel if you met someone who now had one of your relatives' faces? And what would you even say?
Bro, that's like a horror movie type stuff, man. That is crazy. It's crazy how there's surgeons that could actually do that. You know what I'm saying? And that technology is only going to improve for the future. Soon you're going to see like a perfect version of that procedure, basically. Like, it's crazy, man.
So watch what happens. In the 1990s, now that we can do genetic tracking and things, the world found out that Europeans are between 1% and 3% Neanderthal, and Africans are 0% Neanderthal. So in the 1990s, research papers started coming out talking about how creative and imaginative the Neanderthals must have been, and how they used a complete facelift of the Neanderthal.
I've heard about that before.
Your head all day. If you don't believe me, I'm gonna prove it to you. This is an EMF meter. That's the baseline, around 1,000. I'm gonna turn on this microwave. Watch what it goes to. 3 million. Now let's see what happens when we put the AirPods next to this guy. Ready? Look at that, guys. It went to 1.2 million. Now it's at 800,000 microwatts per meter squared. The AirPods are a little bit less strong than the microwave, but they're basically a small microwave strapped to your head for a few hours a day. That cannot be good for humans, guys. Get the AirPods off of your head. You wouldn't stand here in front of a microwave for a few hours a day. So why are you wearing these in your head for a few hours a day?
I think it might just be AirPods, and I think it's like the strength level's gotta be like different. You know what I mean? If you're standing in front of a microwave, it's for sure worse than the earbuds. So I don't know.
Can somebody tell me what time it is? What the fuck wrong with your work? Shit, nigga, the sun is deflecting all this ice. I can't see a motherfucking thing. Man, get the fuck out of here. Nah, for real, nigga, look. Shit.
Number 3. Tyler, the creator and regular show, as Blitz Comet and Big Trouble.
Blitz Comet on the scene. You step to me and you're gonna get cream. Corn all up in your teeth. You reek, you're the opposite of chic. You freak, your rhymes are like antique.
Number 2. Lil Yachty and Teen Titans go as Green Lantern.
Well, has there been a movie about you?
There was a Green Lantern movie, but...
That's cool. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Number 1. 50 Cent in The Simpsons as 50.
Jeepers, it's 50 Cent!
Yo, B, I heard you throw down on stage. Wanna join my world?
Sorry, Fitty, I have school tomorrow.
You're right. The more you know, the further you go. And that's gonna grow.
What other rappers do you think would make...
That's cool. Lil Yachty's been doing a lot of voice acting, man. That guy, yo... He's involved with a lot of different shows, man. It's actually crazy.
Hey guys, come on, shut up.
Sorry, champ. It was Jeremy.
I was just gonna say Logan Paul, bro. You gotta watch out for that guy, man. It's interesting, man. The Simpsons, they're always on point when it comes to predicting the future. And like, bro, I wouldn't be surprised if they get more right.
Talk about how Ben I started like Kennedy, late like a 10 to 3. When I
The legendary performance right here. Most Def, one of the best freestyles ever, man.
Take me to a place called the BK without pause or delay. Get run like pen relay. Don't deal with he say, she say. Ain't working for no cheap play. The Most Def beat play. This is what the streets say. Hey, Mr. DJ, play that double Mogan. That jam got me open.